Today we'll discuss the circulatory system of Calotis, and we'll try to understand how the heart works, what are the different structures associated with the heart which help it to circulate the blood around the body parts, like the sinus venosus, which I have focused here, and then the arches. There's no truncus arteriosus as such, but arches are present, that is the carotid arch and the systemic arches. And the main characteristic feature of this heart is that there is, to a certain extent, the deoxygenated blood and the oxygenated blood are kept separate. Of course, some kind of mixing does occur, but this is but not as much as you find in the frog. So let us get started with the heart. So the heart lies in the pleuroperitoneal cavity, and it is bounded by two pericardial membranes which are around the heart, and between the pericardial membranes is a space which is called as the pericardial space, and this is filled with a fluid, pericardial fluid, which helps the heart or protects the heart against mechanical shocks and injuries. Next, the heart at the apex has a muscle by which it binds, and this is attached to the wall of the pericardium, and this is known as the gubernaculum cardi or caudae. Gubernaculum caudae. Now basically the heart consists of two auricles and a ventricle. The two auricles are separated by the interauricular septum and externally by a groove, and the ventricle is a single ventricle, and therefore there is a lot of mixing of blood here because it is incompletely divided into two parts. Now the inner surface, if you look at the chambers, you find that the auricles have the inner surface of the auricle has a number of fibers arranged emerging from it, and these are referred to as musculi pectinati. And the right auricle, now the right auricle has the opening of the sinus venosus, and the right auricle has an aperture which is this opening is referred to as a sinoauricular aperture, and the left auricle has the opening of the pulmonary vein. So in other words, the pure blood is received by the pulmonary vein, oxygenated blood, in the left auricle, and the deoxygenated blood from the sinus venosus is received in the right auricle. Next, we'll come over to the ventricle. Now the opening of the before I go over to the ventricle, let me just tell you this, that the opening of the pulmonary vein is not provided with a valve, and the auricles are separated by the wall which is called as the interauricular septum. The ventricle, of course, is a single chamber, and there is between the auricles and the ventricles there are certain valves. So the right auricle opens into the right side of the ventricle by the right atrioventricular valve, which is lodged in the opening which is known as the aperture, and the left atrioventricular valve guards the aperture between the left auricle and the left side of the ventricle. And the ventricle internally it has a number of projections. So these are the projections that you can see, but one of the projections is pretty big. So this projection is the groove, which sort of divides the lumen of the ventricle into two parts. the bigger part is called as the cavum dorsale, and the smaller part is known as the cavum pulmonale. So the cavum pulmonale is towards the right side of the ventricle, and cavum dorsale is towards the left side of the ventricle. And this groove is slightly oblique, and it divides the internal cavity of the ventricle into two unequal parts. Next, these projections are referred to as the columnae carnae or the trabeculae. So these projections are called as a columnae carnae, and the left atrioventricular valve and the right atrioventricular valve are connected to the wall of the ventricle by fine threads which are made up of collagen. So these are called as a chordae tendineae. So this is about the ridge which runs obliquely, the columnae carnae, which are the projections, the chordae tendineae, which bind the valves to the wall of the ventricle, and because of this ridge, a certain amount of separation of the two types of bloods, that is the pure and the impure blood, does take place, but the part where the ridge is missing, the cavity of the ventricle becomes continuous. Next is, let us just study what exactly is sinus venosus. Now here you can see, in case of frog we have seen a triangular structure, right? But here this is this has a lobular form, and here you find that this is a thin wall structure. So, and it is present on the dorsal side of the heart and attached to and this sinus venosus opens into the right auricle, or it is attached to the right auricle and opens into it. Externally, there is a groove on the dorsal side, and thereby it divides into a larger right part and a smaller left part. The sinus venosus is formed by the union of the two precables and one postcable. So the precables are referred to as the left precable and the right precable, and these collect blood from the different parts of the viscera in the anterior part of the animal, whereas the postcable collects the blood from the hind parts of the animal. The precables are also referred to as superior vena cavae, whereas the postcable is referred to as the inferior vena cava. Next is, the sinus venosus opens into the right auricle by the sino-auricular aperture, and this is guarded by a pair of sino-auricular valves. So wherever it opens, you'll find the sino-auricular valves. Next is the aortic arches. So we understand that the truncus arteriosus, which we found in case of the frog, is missing here. So on the ventral side of the animal, so see this is the ventral side. So on the ventral side of the heart, you find that the truncus arteriosus is not present, but in its place, three aortic arches are present. So out of which one is the carotid arch, which splits into a right common carotid and a left common carotid. Apart from that, there are two other arches. One that is the systemic arch. That is, these two other arches are the systemic arches. So as such, the aortic arches, like the two systemic arches and a pulmonary arch, arise from the cavity of the ventricle. The course of circulation is summarized in the diagram. Now let us look at this diagram which I have here. So the deoxygenated blood is collected by the precables and postcables, and it is sent to the sinus venosus. And where is the sinus venosus present? It is present on the dorsal side of the animal of the heart. And so these are the precables and the postcables, which open into the right auricle. So from the sinus venosus through the sino-auricular aperture, the blood comes into the right auricle, and through the auriculo-ventricular aperture it comes into the right side of the ventricle. So from the right auricle, you find that the blood comes into the right side of the ventricle. There's no internal division of the ventricle into the right and left parts. So here you find that through the pulmonary arch, the blood, mind you, this is the impure blood or the deoxygenated blood, it goes to the lungs, and from it is carried to the lungs, and through from the lungs back to the heart through the pulmonary vein. So the pulmonary vein opens into the left auricle by the common pulmonary aperture, and so it opens into the left auricle, and then the blood comes through the left auriculo-ventricular aperture. It comes into the left side of the ventricle, that is the cavum dorsale. Now when I'm talking about the cavum dorsale, what do I mean? The ridge in the ventricle divides, it's oblique, and it divides into the interior of the ventricle into two parts, cavum pulmonale and the cavum dorsale. So the cavum dorsale is present on the left side of the ventricle, and cavum pulmonale is present on the right side of the ventricle. Then after that, the blood goes from the cavum dorsale, so it is this cavum dorsale, it goes into the systemic arches. So these are the systemic arches which open into the, so here you can see the systemic arches, and through the systemic, this is the right systemic and this is the left systemic. So through the right and left systemic, they are circulated around the body parts. So the blood is circulated around the body parts. The two chambers, let me just clarify once again that the cavum pulmonale and cavum dorsale, because of the ridge, they have a ridge in between, but the ridge is incomplete. So there is a lot of mixing of blood in that part where the ridge is absent. So in today's class we have studied about the circulation of blood in the lizard, and we have tried to understand what are the different parts of the heart, that is two auricles and a ventricle. Then we have tried to understand what are the inner parts of the auricles and ventricles. Then we have gone over to the dorsal side of the heart, and we have seen how the sinus venosus with its precables and postcables opens into the right auricle. Then we have studied that is the ventral view, where the arches are present. Instead of the truncus arteriosus, the arches are present. And then we have tried to understand how the movement of the blood is around the various body parts.